So armed with that analysis of the hexane isomers, let's go ahead and have a look at the high resolution spectra to try to either explain where the different peaks come from or to use the spectra to determine between the different isomers. So we'll start off with spectrum F, and I hope you would agree that spectrum F has got two peaks in a ratio of 12:2. Well, that's unambiguously going to be the 2,3 dimethylbutane. Let's see where these come from, right? First of all, we have the pink hydrogens here. Those are the ones on the methyl groups. We got 12 of those, so that's relatively straightforward. Now we look at these, say the hydrogens on this carbon, they're attached to this carbon that goes to a carbon that has one hydrogen on it. And that's the same for all of the pink ones. Has to be, because of course they're identical. Doesn't matter which pink carbon we take, that pink carbon is bonded to a carbon that has one hydrogen on it. So these 12 hydrogens should be split into a doublet because they're next to a carbon that has one hydrogen on, and 1 + 1 is 2. So that doublet there must be the pinkies. Okay, now we're left, of course, with this set down here that must be the blue ones. Well, let's think about it. If you're a blue hydrogen, right, you're on a carbon that is attached to a carbon that's got one just like you, so that doesn't count, but then also to a carbon that's got 1, 2, 3, and another carbon that's got 1, 2, 3. So you are attached to a carbon that's attached to carbons that have 6 protons. 6 + 1 is 7, and here we have the septet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, you can kind of see the little blips there for the 8th and the 9th peak that are associated with that one, but the big dominant factor here is you've got two hydrogens there that are split up quite significantly because of all the adjacent hydrogens. Now let's move down to spectrum G that has 5 peaks in a ratio 6:3 to 2:2 to 1. Well, we didn't actually need to use the ratio in order to realize that the 5 peak one has to be the 2-methyl pentane that we analyzed before. But now let's see if we can explain this signal. Now looking at the hydrogens, we've got 6, the 3, the 2, the 2, and the 1. Start off with the 6 here. Well, the 6 must be the pinkies. Why is it split into a doublet? Because these pink hydrogens are on a carbon that's bonded to a carbon that has one hydrogen on it. Okay, so these 6 are split by the red hydrogen. Now let's move on to this. We have 3 hydrogens that are split into a triplet. In other words, 3 hydrogens that are next to a carbon that has 2 hydrogens on it, because 2 + 1 is 3. Okay, so that must be this sort of brownie one there, right? The 3 hydrogens next to a carbon that's got 2 hydrogens on it. Next one, we go to this 2, and these are 2 protons that are split into 3, okay, because they must be, split into 4, so they must be next to carbons that have 3 hydrogens on. Well, which would those be? Well, we've either got the 2 here for the blue, but the blues are next to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or we got the greens are next to 1, 2, 3. So this signal here is going to be the green hydrogens, 2 hydrogens next to a combined carbons that have 1, 2, 3 hydrogens on, and 3 + 1 is 4. Continuing that argument, we've kind of already given it away, haven't we? The blue ones here, 2 hydrogens, the blue ones are on attached to a carbon that's bonded to carbons that have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hydrogens on. 5 + 1 is 6. So expect the blue signal to have the split of 6, and again it's split into 6 because this carbon is attached to carbons that have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 + 1 is 6. Finally, this last one, the 1 hydrogen, must be the red one. Again, it's kind of split into, I'm calling a septet. It should really be much more than that, a nonet. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 adjacent hydrogens. Again, as was the case here, when you're splitting a small signal that much, you don't expect to see all the peaks. The dominant thing to think of here is we got 1 hydrogen split like crazy because the hydrogen is on a carbon that's bonded to carbons that have lots and lots of hydrogens. So there's 2 of the spectra assigned. I hope you would agree, relatively straightforwardly. It was actually harder to say than it should have been. 3 spectra left, and we're expecting 1 of them to have 4 peaks and 2 of them to have 3 peaks. Now we look at spectrum H, and what we see is we got 3 peaks there, 1, 2, 3, and we look at spectrum K, and we see we got 3 peaks there. There's 1 there, there's a really high big one there, and then there's the other little peak there. So a little bit of overlap there, but I hope you can see very definitively 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Now, one of those 3 peak ones, we're expecting 6 to 4 to 4, and the other one we're expecting 9 to 3 to 2. So I hope you're quite happy, without using fingers, that this is going to be the 6 and the 4, 4 combined there. And this is going to be the 9, 3, 2, there's the 2, and there's the 9 and the 3 combining to give us 12. So which isomer is which? Just the straight hexane was the one that had 3, 6, 4, 4. Let's go through and analyze what we're seeing here. First thing, 6 was the 6 pinkies. What are we expecting about the pink ones? We're expecting them, because they're next to a carbon that has 2 hydrogens on, for that to be split into 2 plus 1 or 3, as indeed it is. So we'll put a pink box around there. Now down here we've got a sextet, and then a really sort of messed up little bit there. Well, the sextet is going to be associated with carbon that has got 5 adjacent hydrogens. So if we look at the blue ones there, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 adjacent hydrogens. So I would expect the sextet to be blue, which would therefore be that this little mess here must be the green ones. Now let's look at the greens. The greens are attached to a proton carbon that has 2 blue ones on the next carbon and 2 green ones on the next carbon. And so we're seeing a sort of complicated split there. It's sort of a, you can almost imagine it's a quintet, right? Because it's next to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you can also see there's a little bit of funky overlap there. Now I'm not going to worry about all the funky overlap, only to say that because I think the sextet is pretty clearly for the blue ones, thus this little mess here must be for the green ones. Now that was one of the 3 peak spectra. Let's go to the other 3 peak spectrum, spectrum K. Okay, so what we're expecting here is, of course, you've got the 9 for the pink ones. Now let's think about what those pink ones are going to be. They're next to a carbon that has no hydrogens on. So I'm going to expect a singlet for the pink ones there. And let's see, yes, I did highlight that. There's a huge big singlet there. Now then what I'm left with is I'm left with the green ones. And the green ones are next to a carbon that's got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be a quartet associated with the green that are the 2. And then when I look at the blue ones, the blue hydrogens are on a carbon, so next to carbon's got 2. So therefore I would expect these 3 hydrogens to be split into a signal of 3, that little triplet there. So there indeed is the blue triplet and the green quartet. Something I'll mention several times again, I would think, is that this pattern here, okay, where you've got a triplet of 3 hydrogens and a quartet of 2 hydrogens, is very, very indicative of an ethyl group, okay, as long as that ethyl group is bonded to something that's not going to split the green ones in this case further. So be aware anytime, or not anytime, but a lot of times you see a 3 hydrogen triplet and a 2 hydrogen quartet, start be thinking of an ethyl group. Anyway, the last spectrum is spectrum J, and that's got 4 peaks, which unambiguously identify it as being associated with the 3-methyl pentane. Going through these, let's see, the first one that we'll do is the blue. These are 3 hydrogens, okay, that are attached to a hydrogen, to a carbon's got 1 hydrogen, because we see it split into a doublet. 1 plus 1 is 2. Now we've got a 6 hydrogen triplet, going to be associated with hydrogens on a carbon that are attached to a carbon with 2 protons, because 2 plus 1 is 3. And so hopefully, obviously, those are the pink ones there. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then each of those is on a carbon that goes to a carbon that has 2 green hydrogens on it. 2 plus 1 is 3. Now we get a little bit complicated, although easy to identify based on the heights here. Okay, we've got 4 hydrogens that are split into a quintet. So in other words, we've got 4 hydrogens that are next to carbons that have a combined 4 hydrogens on them, because 4 plus 1 is 5. Well, that must be the green ones. Okay, each green one has got carbons, got 1, 2, 3, 4 on the adjacent carbons. 4 plus 1 is 5. And finally, again, this one down here must be the red one. You can see if you got great imagination, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 there. Okay, significant imagination to see those 2 little blips down the bottom there. Well, 8 means that there must be 7 adjacent hydrogens. If we look at this red one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 adjacent hydrogens. Okay, so that was the hexanes. Hopefully the analysis made sense. This really is something that if it hasn't clicked, it will click. And when it clicks, it becomes fun. But hopefully going through them at the pace that one did will help with any misconceptions or misunderstandings.